Hello everyone, it's Press to Play here once again, and I thought I would do a video on the McCartney box sets that came out a few years ago, and I really like these box sets, and I remember when they first came out, there were some people who were a little critical of them, saying that it's kind of pointless, it's a money grab, and you can just go out and buy the three individual albums anyway, and what's kind of the point of this? But I loved it because the albums that I had were very scratched and very worn because I did not take care of my records when I was much younger. So when they came out with this box set, I was really excited about it, and especially since they're on 180-gram vinyl and beautiful packaging as well. So anyway, if you're thinking of buying them, I'll show you what you're going to get. I really recommend them. So they come in two formats: compact disc or vinyl. They also came in a limited edition box set of colored vinyl, and I do have that, but I don't want to open it because I haven't broken the seal, and I kind of bought that as a collectible. But if one day I do open it up, I'll do a video on that as well. But let's take a look at them. This is the CD box set. The only criticism I have of this box set is that, again, the CDs slip out very easily, kind of like the Wilbury box set. So if you do get the CD version, just be mindful of that because these have hit the floor a few times now. But anyway, really solid box. Like, it's high quality. There's the back. Take a quick look at the CDs. But again, like the box is really sturdy. Comes with 3 photos, and each picture is from when he recorded each of the albums. So there's McCartney III. On the back, he has a little note about the album as well, which is nice. There's McCartney III. I love this photo of him. I'm not sure who that is. Heather, maybe? I'm assuming it's Heather. That's from the McCartney album, and then McCartney II. So nice pictures. And the CDs, we'll just quickly go through them. What I like about the compact disc is that they're not in jewel cases, so they're not in those plastic cases, which I don't like, and they do open up like the original album, so that's nice as well. And this is on the Apple label. The Apple, and the labels on the CDs are the same labels on the albums themselves. I'll show you in a moment. So that was a nice touch. McCartney II, this comes in like a kind of a glossy cover. Makes it look sharp. It opens up like the original album, and this is on the Parlophone label. And they sound really good. Really, really good. The vinyl does as well. And this comes with the lyrics. So I'm glad they included the same picture that's on the inner sleeve in the album, but it also includes the lyrics too, which is a nice touch. So this opens up like this. So it's nice that they include the lyrics on that one. And McCartney III. And what I like about the design of this is that Paul used the same design as McCartney I. So that's really neat. I thought that was very cool. So these photos were taken by Linda, and these were taken by his daughter. But yeah, really, really sharp. I thought that was a nice touch. This is on the Capitol label, PL. And this also comes with the book as well. I'm sure most of you have seen this already if you have the disc. It's a nice booklet. It's got some photos of Paul in there and the lyrics to the songs and whatnot. So it's nice. It's a nice little box set. I like it. Now, if you have a turntable at home and you're debating which set to get, I'd go for the vinyl, and I'll show you why. First of all, they sound awesome. I played the vinyl again last night. They sound so good. But again, really nice, solid slipcase. Here's the back. And the photos that come with the vinyl box set are much nicer. So they're really glossy. They're on like a really heavy paper. So they actually feel like real photographs. They're really nice. There's a nice, really like that picture of Paul. And then it also has the notes on the back as well. So there's McCartney. I just love these photos. McCartney II and McCartney III. The back. I'll quickly show you the albums as well. So my favorite one of all. I love McCartney. Of the three albums, this is by far my favorite, and I'd even go so far as to say it's my favorite McCartney album from his whole Wings and solo career. I just love this album. I'll explain why in a second. I just love it. I'm not saying it's the best album. I'm not saying that. I mean, Band on the Run is a masterpiece, but it's always been my go-to album, my personal favorite. Here's the other side, but I really like those Apple labels. They look sharp. McCartney's such a great album. I think I love this album so much because it's so rough around the edges. It's not overproduced. Again, obviously Paul plays all the instruments, which make it nice. But I just love it. It has such an acoustic feel to it. It has such a there's a rawness to it that I love. But with the intro, Lovely Linda, with the acoustic introduction, and his voice, Paul's voice at this time was so good. I mean, it was so. Oh my goodness! I'm not going to say he was at his prime because I think Revolver and his Beatles, when he was with the Beatles, he was at his prime, but he could still sing so incredibly well. And a lot of these songs were written during his time with the Beatles as well, so it has that Beatles influence there. But Lovely Linda, again, that I love the acoustic. He's such a great guitar player too, and it really shines on this album. That would be something, the way he can use his voice and change his voice and the tone of his voice to get certain effects, but that rough kind of edge he has to his voice is awesome. But that would be something. I love the way he sings it, his presentation, the guitar work. Valentine Day I enjoy. Every night, just the acoustic guitars and the harmonies that he does with himself. Such a beautiful arrangement, the melody, everything about it, the lyrics, everything. Just love Every Night. So nice that he played that one in concert too, but beautiful track. Then there's Hot as Sun, and that takes me back to high school when I had my electric guitar, and I remember it's not a complicated song, so I could pick it up pretty quickly, and I used to play along with him on that track. Such a nice melody. I love his experimentation with wine glasses on glasses. Shows the avant-garde side of him a little bit. And Junk is such a beautiful song, and the guitar playing on that is incredible. And the melody is beautiful. The lyrics are beautiful. I love everything about it. And then again, Man We Was Lonely is such a unique track. I love the melody in the middle, but with him singing harmonies with Linda, and again, just the way he can change his voice around a little bit on these tracks. He's so versatile, and my cat likes it too. Ooh You is like that rocker, Paul with the electric guitar and everything. I love that track. I love Mama Miss America. It was funny. There was a car going down. I live in Toronto. He was going down Bloor Avenue, and this person had his windows open, and he was just it was blasting that song, and I could just hear the music blaring from the car. But it was so cool. I thought, wow, I've never ever heard anyone blast that song before, so that was really cool. But it sounded awesome. I thought, oh, it reminded me what a great track that is. I love Mama Miss America. Teddy Boy reminds me of John Lennon. It's again written during the Beatle period, and it was such a simple but beautiful melody and song. And then I love that he did an instrumental version of John because the guitar work is just spectacular. Maybe I'm Amazed, the classic, which is my favorite McCartney song. And then the drum solo at the end, the instrumental, which I thought was very avant garde, very interesting. So I just love everything about this album. I just think it's all Paul. It's raw, it's rough around the edges, it's not overproduced. You can really hear his guitar playing; it really shines. His vocals, everything. Anyway, it's my personal favorite album of Paul's, and again, not I'm not saying it's the best album that he's put out, but it's a personal favorite. There's just something about this, the sound and everything that I love. And the same goes with McCartney too. This is my second favorite in this box set. This is not one of my favorite McCartney albums, but of the three, I would put McCartney first, and I'd put this second for the exact same reason. It's not overproduced. There's a rawness to it. They sound like demo takes almost. What I didn't like about this album is I'm not big on electronic music. I'm not big on synthesizers and all that stuff. But this was 1979, 1980, and that's when they were very popular at the time. So yeah, it was the sign of the times. But I just didn't like all the electronic music in it. But I love Coming Up. Side one is my favorite. Such a happy, uplifting song. Temporary Secretary, that's the only track on the album that I think the electronic music actually works. It's a funky sounding track. I actually really like it. It's very Beatley. It was kind of interesting that he kind of tossed that into his set list when he on one of his recent tours, but it fit. I thought it was really cool to hear that song. Anyways, I like Temporary Secretary. On the Way is such a great bluesy number, and again, it shows his great guitar skills. And in that song, it's almost like the guitar, he's having a conversation with the guitar. And if you just go back and listen to that song and the way the guitar just, it's a beautiful arrangement, just the way he puts these little riffs into the song. It's almost like he's communicating with the guitar. It's awesome. And BB King did a great version of that, by the way, not too long ago. Waterfalls is a beautiful track, beautiful melody, everything. And I really like Nobody Knows. I think it's a funky kind of cool track as well. So I really like side one. Side two, I'm not as big on. I'm not big on Front Parlor or Frozen Jab or Dark Room. I don't really like those electronic, songs of the electronic music and whatnot. I do love Summer's Day Song. I think it's a beautiful melody. I love the lyrics. And I really like, I don't mind bogey music. I think it's a lot of fun. One of these days, I love it because it's just him on the guitar. And again, it reminds me a bit of McCartney. So it's I like it because it's raw, it's rough. It's not overproduced. Reminds me a lot of McCartney, but 80s style. So I like this one more than McCartney 3. McCartney 3 is a good album. I'm not saying it's a bad album. I like it, but I think it was overproduced. It sounds like a mainstream album. It doesn't sound like a rough. I don't know. These sound like they're just so innocent and rough around the edges. This is too polished for me. That's why I was kind of, yeah, I wasn't into it as much as the other two, but it's a good album. Here, I'll quickly show you the gatefold again, and this is on the again on the Capitol label. I love records; they're so awesome, but they're good songs. I really like the songs, but again, I just feel it was a bit. I can't never get this one back in for some reason. I just feel it was overproduced for me. It was just too much production. It was too polished. I think that's the best way to put it. I love Longtail Winterbird because again, it reminds me of those early McCartney albums. I love Find My Way because again, it sounds organic. There's something about that song as well. Again, it takes me back to the first two McCartney albums. Pretty Boys is a nice song. Woman and Wives, like they're great songs, but I don't like the way he uses his voice in Woman and Wives for some reason. It doesn't. I just couldn't get into it. But the song itself is quite nice, and I actually like some of the reimagined tracks when different artists did these songs a little bit more. Um, but I just couldn't get into Women and Wives. Love Lavatory Lil again because it reminds me of the early McCartney. Slide In, I just couldn't get into that track, and I know that it was during the lockdown, and Paul took a track that was unfinished, which was Slide In, and I know that I think it was done during a rehearsal or something, and he put lyrics to it and finished it off. But when I heard that the other bandmates were playing on it, or he took that track from his rehearsal where his band was on there as well, I thought, yeah, but that's not really organic. It's not really just Paul. I want to hear Paul on the drums. He has a unique sound. So that, again, a little bit overproduced. I could never get into Deep Deep Feeling. I just felt it went on too long. But again, I love The Kiss of Venus. Again, and I think it's because it's organic. I love hearing Paul's rough aging voice. That's who he is. But it was very nice to hear Paul sing that one in his aging voice because again, it's organic, it's raw. But The Kiss of Venus is a beautiful song. Seize the Day again. Like I just feel those songs deep down and whatnot were just overproduced a little bit for my liking. But I love Winterbird When Winter Comes. Again, an old track he pulled out with a younger voice, but it's a beautiful song. So again, my favorite tracks off this album are the ones that have that roughness to them, have that little bit rough around the edges, like Long-Tailed Winterbird. I love he's a great guitarist. Find My Way, Lavatory Lil, The Kiss of Venus, When Winter Comes. There's some great tracks on here. I like the album. I'm not saying it's a bad album, but of the three, by far, this is my hands down my favorite. McCartney II for the same reasons, that has that organic feel to it. And then this one is my least favorite, but I still play it. I still like it. but it's just not up there as one of my favorite McCartney albums. And I know this was very popular and a lot of people love this album, but I don't know. I'd like to know what you think. So in the comments below, let me know what is your, of the three, which is your favorite, which is your least favorite, and let me know why as well. Um, I don't like to rank them. I don't know. There's something about ranking albums. I don't like to say one album is better than another album because it's very subjective, and I prefer using the word these are my favorites, personal favorite albums, and here's why I like them the most. But I'm not saying that they're better than other albums. Like McCartney, this album is definitely Band on the Run. I think is a much better overall album than McCartney, obviously, but I just like it more, just because of the again that rawness and it's rough around the edges and it's very organic. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Which is your favorite, or what's your favorite McCartney album? I'm curious to know. And thanks for hanging out with me. If you're new to my channel, if you like the content, don't forget to subscribe. And if you do click the bell, you'll be notified when I post new videos and all that stuff. And thanks for hanging out with me. And I'm really having fun doing this. So it's awesome. Anyway, take good care of yourselves. I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.